Wagwan. So that's the first day I've done. This is the end of the day. It's about fucking 12 o'clock midnight ish. Oh, fuck me. On a busy day today. I've been tattooing a picture of a samurai on somebody. I suppose you wonder what I'm doing with my arms down here. I am rolling a cigarette because I'm in England, UK, and the laws are different than America. So yeah, been a busy day. Been a busy fucking year. In fact, not a busy week or a month. Been a busy year. I'm literally just about to get in the shower. What can I say? What can I fucking talk about? Fuck, man. I've got that much shit that I usually chat to people about. I see a lot of people come through the door, so I've got a lot of shit to chat to people. I spend a lot of my time doing a counselling job. Today I was talking to Scott. We were watching Joe Rogan. We had Dan Bilzerian on there. Who else? We watched Dan Bilzerian. Who was the other bloke? Oh shit! I forgot his name. I didn't really focus on his name. It's a bloke who works with monkeys by the sounds of it. Watches human behaviour. That was quite interesting. Whilst I was chatting, a good friend of mine called Scott. So that's an interesting bloke, but he's really private. It's why I don't do a lot. I'd love to interview and do like put little videos up where I've got actual people who I'm tattooing sitting there, but so few people are willing to, while they're in pain, actually be filmed because they feel they might be, I don't know, look silly, look stupid, or give away some kind of vulnerability of themselves. And yeah, so it's kind of hard to get people to actually be down for the interviews. So I'm just going to focus on general subjects that we go through as humans. I'm literally racking my head now because I don't write anything down. I'm going off the top of my head, just ad-libbing this as it comes. So I do apologise if we go off subject or roll back into it or anything like that. There was something that Scott said that made me really laugh. When Dan Bilzerian was on, I can't remember. That's really... They were talking about their perspective and how they like to be able to show everybody in the world that they're not... That having millions of pounds is not the way. It's just nicotine in here, people. Just nicotine. So yeah, having like... all their money wasn't their solution to happiness. Sorry, not that it doesn't answer all questions. Money doesn't answer all problems. It will help with most things, I'd imagine. I'm like you people. I'm working through it. I'm waking up every day, good, doing my grind. This is my studio, and my home is that way through the back of this wall. But yeah, so I'm like you. I'm grafting. I'm grinding. I haven't made it. This year's been a big turnaround in my life for me personally because I've gone from sleeping on sofas to having meeting my missus to having a house. I suppose I should do like a big thing on that really. But that is just describing my life and I don't really want to talk about me at the moment. Like I'll do a separate little video just telling you about my life if people really, really want to hear about it. It's not too interesting. It's like everybody else's. I suppose everybody has an interesting life, so parts of my life have been interesting, parts have been so mundanely boring, like so many other people out there. But yeah, Dan Bilzerian and Joe Rogan were talking about how when you become successful, you get the money, and it isn't the solution to happiness. No, it always makes me, a couple of things that sprung to my head when I thought about this was one, well, the first thing that I thought was, of course a millionaire would say that you got lots of money, you would say that it wouldn't bring you the happiness that you found. But sitting on the other side of the fence when you got fuck all, a heap ton of cash would help a couple of motherfuckers out about now. Not personally myself, I work, I'm doing alright. My fridge got food in, the roof's over my head, the lights are on, so I'm doing alright. But yeah, I did think that is my first thought is, yeah, of course money doesn't buy happiness. It just gives you a lot of the tools that you need to, I don't know, like tools that you need to say, okay then, for instance, my dad's got kidney failure. If I had millions of pounds, I could jump him straight onto private healthcare. I could take care of his health, no issues, no problem. Being in a position we're in now, when we tried to put him on private healthcare, we couldn't afford it. We could afford a plan, But the plan we needed for him, because he's got kidney failure, he's been run over, he's had prostate cancer, the plan we needed to specifically tailor to him just wasn't available. Money would have helped that. If I was a millionaire like Dan Bilzerian or Joe Rogan, he's probably not Dan's level, but I'm guessing he got some cash tucked away. But yeah, I could straight up, bam, just drop it down. So it does buy them things that if you haven't got money, they slow you down in life and won't give you necessarily the best standard of living or the best type of life or this up here. The money puts you up a bit, doesn't it? You ain't got to roll out of bed at 5. You might have to roll out of bed at 5 in the morning to make this money. It depends how you've made your money, but generally speaking, you're not on that hunger. Like, my belly's hungry all the time because it's been that way because my daddy's belly was hungry all the time. He never got through health, through whatever, through life. He got to a level where he's made it now, but he's still working. But he's made it and he's happy. Now, the second thing that I thought about was, so money doesn't buy happiness. No, of course it doesn't. But when you got money, it's a lot fucking easier. The second thought was, did they chase that money thinking that the material things would buy them happiness? Because, like, I'm a working class. Like, we don't have a lot. We didn't have, like, millions. Like, I had more than some, but there was some who had a lot more than us. I got a PlayStation. I wasn't one of the first people in my class or in my school or in my year group to get one or in my peer group to get one. But I wasn't the last. I had a very average life, very middle of the road, very like, not middle of the road because there was some like slightly different aspects of my life that not everybody goes through. But generally speaking, it was very average. But even on this working class mentality, as working class people, a lot of people I meet know that they're not chasing money because they think it brings them happiness. They're chasing the paper to get them out of that mean place that we grow up in. Like, it's not easy when it's working class. It's some rough ass times, man. You're coming into conflict with a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people in this working class environment. It's a big part. And then you have the people who work real hard, and then they get to here. Now, this thing as well, that if you bust your ass all the time, you're gonna get what you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just not true. You can bust your ass all your life, and could end up nowhere. It's about opportunity. It's about positivity. It's about outlook. There's so many different variables that go towards being successful or getting somewhere. I think we put this illusion that getting somewhere isn't staying in the same house for very long. I mean, I grew up at the top of the road. My auntie lived at the top of the road. My family, my mum lived around the corner. My nan lives 2 minutes away. I've never left this area. Like, some people are like, that's real sad. I have left it. I've been on holidays, things that I worked for to get, like, went abroad. I went to Ayia Napa, I've been to Mali, I've been to New York. I worked for some of these things. Some of them were like gifts. My uncle took us to New York. So my dad kidneys were failing, and that's a whole new heap of stories. But yeah, it's always, what struck me the most about the thing that Dan Bilzerian and Joe Rogan were saying was that it always seems to be the people with lots of money saying money don't matter, or it doesn't buy you happiness. It gives you a lot more. But you're hearing it from somebody who hasn't got lots of money. I'm fairly happy. I'm chasing the dollar because I want to give my children the best. And that's what we want, that playing field. So they're on a fairly level playing field, and they've got a fair bit more than other people. There was a brilliant video I watched on privilege, and I think some of you might have seen it, where it's a football field and everyone is on the football field and everyone starts off and he says, right then, I want you to take 2 steps if the statements that I say are correct. And he goes, right then, so take 2 steps forwards if you've got a mum and dad. So most people take 2 steps forward. Take a step forward. And he goes, take a step forwards if your parents are still living together. So they take a step forwards. And in it keeps building up, and it's loads of little different things. If you had a treatment to education, if you had a phone, if your parents paid for the bill, blah, blah. And these little privileges, you could see that nobody had ever counted before on that pitch, like the privileges that they had before people. And they were shocked at the end of it to see who had the most privilege and who had the least privilege. But the general understanding is that we're all on that playing level field, and it's not the case, is it? But money unevens that playing field even more. All right, you got talent, you got ability, you got drive as well on this playing field that kind of make it level off. So some of the kids who start off with lots of money, they're not as talented, or they don't learn as fast, and then it becomes like a fairly even playing. And this is kind of how society works. But this thing that money doesn't buy you happiness. No, like it depends on who you are. Like Dan Bills around, he's got lots of money. He's got all these. He goes around with these girls and things like this, and he's not. He's saying he's not happy and stuff like. I don't know if he's saying he's not happy. I presume he looks fucking happy. And so does Joe Rogan. Like, and I suppose what they're saying is this desire or this comfort inside. I don't think we ever reach a happiness. Happiness is something that is you. It's a momentary thing. It's, how do I describe it? Happiness. How do I describe it? Like food. Like you eat something and you're full. Or you eat, like, say you eat 4 meals, some of us can eat more, forget the amount of value. But what I'm saying is you eat something, you put something in your belly, you're full. So imagine happiness like that. So you get something, you do something, you intake something and you become full and you're like, oh, I'm full. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm content. These very simple things. I'm happy. And then like you sit there for a while, and you could probably you probably couldn't eat much more. But then the dessert comes along and you eat again, so you're already full. But you put more stuff on top, and you're like, now I'm happy. I can go to sleep. But still, I think I think majority of people out there, you change the meal and put something else that looks appetizing or looks interesting or attractive to them, they will eat again. So happiness is something that you will just consume and consume and consume, and then look back and go, when you get to a certain point of fullness and consumption, like buying stuff, you got all these things around you, look back and you're like, all the time I was doing that, all the time I was eating, I was happy, but now I'm looking back, I don't feel so happy. I've got all these things, I've had all these meals, but I don't feel so happy. And that's a big problem for a lot of people. And I can't speak for everybody out there, but for myself personally, how I like to find happiness, what generally puts a smile on my face is little tiny things, little tiny raindrops. Whereas depression seems like a big weight, boom, it drops on you, bang, when you're depressed. And how I got myself out of depression was with a few different things. I had to make myself feel better. I had to do it because I didn't like where I was. Eckhart Tolle said, you will come to a point where you sit there and you go, I can't live with myself, which will put you on a thought pattern of, me, can't live with myself, myself, me, that would sound like there's multiple me's. So people sit there and overthink it. They get confused. They're going, oh, there's more than one me. And it's just too much in the way. When I can't cope with myself, I take a step back from myself. And I mean, literally that mind frame. So like right now, I'm thinking about this video. And a couple points while I'm talking over this, my mind's drifted, but I bring it back. So I look at the video, bang, I control that. I have to do it physically, mentally. It's a struggle. It's as much of a struggle as fighting the depression is. And a few things do this. How I do it is very, very basic things that you learn from when you're kids, and I think it's how we all go through life. You learn certain things that make you happy. I can tell you a few ones that make people happy, and it is generally just dancing, and it will make you feel, as soon as you start moving, there is something about movement that we enjoy it. It's why we do certain things, football, ballet, go to pool. There's a certain movement that we do that we enjoy. What game's that? How's it go? You go to the pub, you introduce someone, spread you give them a firm, you shake their hand. There's an action to it, but it provides you with something. So generally, I spend a lot of time just wiggling my hips, wiggling my shoulders. My missus is like, you're off your head, how you are. But that little dance provides me with a fraction of a smile. Then when I've copped my smile, acknowledging the smile, not acknowledging, acknowledging the smile, but acknowledging the happiness that I've received from just doing something stupid. I'll laugh at me. So I like me because I'm happy. I'm making me laugh. I like me. So therefore, I'm getting a bit of happiness. Keep doing it. I do little things like, at the moment, I've got a thing for like nibbling my son's neck here. He's only 18 months old. I give a little raspberry and he clinks your little face, and that melts me, like, bam, that makes me happy. So at the moment, because I've got kids, they are sources of happiness. I look at my artwork, and I also adore my missus. I give her love, I give her kisses, everything. These all provide me with little bits of happiness, chunks of happiness. You can't expect to sit in a pit, depressed by yourself, and happiness is going to jump on you. You can't expect... It's a so hard topic to when people are down to talk about. I suffer from manic depression. I'm an artist. I'm naturally, boom, I love that crazy. There's like, there's a woman the other day, and I've completely forgot her name off the top of my head, a black lady who used to dance on Broadway, and she was such a character. I want to say Jezebel something, I'm probably getting this wrong. And she said that Broadway, when she was on stage and she danced, it matched that frenzy inside of her, that crazy. I can relate to that. I have that crazy, I have that frenzy. Also, like when it's in the plus, it's mad crazy frenzy, and like what is above is below, and all these negative pattern vibrations. Open them up. We'll go into more of these videos, more of talks like about this vibration and what we are as a living thing in the future. But yeah, that frenzy, I understood that I had this frenzy. So when it's up, it's massively up, man. I can reach on the ceiling, but you ain't getting me down. Like I'm quite elated tonight because I've done a nice tattoo. I've seen my friend. I don't feel like I've worked. I've just had a good day and got paid for it. So I'm happy. I'm doing this video now. I enjoy this because I feel like it's a step forwards. These things make me happy. So do what makes you happy. You have to find them, recognize them, be honest with yourself. Honesty to yourself is the biggest thing. Like, we are all like 100% guilty of not loving ourselves at times. I mean, I'm covered in tattoos. That is probably like, I don't know, in a psychological point of view, that is self-harm. From my point of view, it's development and change, and I love this development of life. I get a lot of people telling me, Chris, you're very different energy, because I allow myself to feel. I call myself like hypersensitive, like I can feel hype. I can feel like on my skin and stuff. I can feel air pressure changes, people's modes. I can feel it under my arms. I get certain reactions my body gives me when certain things happen. A little story, I was going out of a girl when I was younger, and I remember leaving her on, I think it was the Saturday, give her a kiss, put her on the bus, and she went off back home anyway. Spoke to her Saturday, woke up on a Sunday morning talking to blah, 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 blah. She went about her day. As soon as I put the phone down, I just had this like tingling in my elbow, like an unease, like almost like if I put my armpits down like this, that something's gonna, like, only way I can describe it is with me tattoo, like something's gonna get sticky to my arm, so you want to lift up, and it made me feel uncomfortable all day. Made me want to do this all day, and I said to my friend, bloody hell, there's a disturb. I can feel a real bad disturbance in the force. It's not something nice either, I don't think. And my mate laughed at me because I smoke a bit of cigarettes, bit of cigarettes because we live in the UK, yeah. So smoked a bit of cigarettes with my pal, and about an hour or so, 2 hours later, my girlfriend found me in tears, and her father had died. So I've always been sensitive to this. Maybe there was triggers of things that she hadn't done for our routine, blah blah blah. You can argue lots of different things, but I've always felt that hypersensitivity. I remember feeling as a young kid, I didn't want to talk quite a lot. I didn't really like talking to adults because I always felt like I had an adult head. I always wanted to say things that got me in trouble. I've even joked around with my friends in the past and said, I reckon in the future there's a time machine and adult Chris transports back in time into younger Chris to say some fucked up shit to adults, do some fucked up shit, like me axe murdering a load of geezers, two kids pumpkins who I was getting babysat for, and I axe murdered the pumpkin. Anyway, adult Chris has jumped into little Chris's body a lot, and he used to fuck up his shit, you know. Got me in trouble at school, got me in trouble with my mum, just a little fucker. But I always had this very sense of myself, who I knew I was here on this earth. I could feel the plane, I could feel the stars and the earth and the moon, and I could see it, recognise it, see it with my own two eyes, I could hear things. My senses just felt heightened. But it also made me hyper aware of who I was and how I felt. You know, as a young kid, when you're at school and how you're aware of your own self, and not many kids are going through they're searching themselves, but they're not aware of themselves. And I struggled with other kids making friends. I was quite popular because I'm elated. I can be really ecstatic. So I used to go from group. I never settled with a group. I just went around loads of different groups. Didn't really have best friends and that, but I had this really sense of who I was. So I felt the earth. I was generally very happy because I think a lot of it's to do with upbringing as well. Could be to do with the fact that my dad had ill health. So my dad taught me from a young age. He was like, "Bam, Chris, you're gonna live once, man. Like, get on with being happy. Get on with it," is what he said to me. Nowadays, we don't say get on to people. We generally talk and try and talk through feelings and try and make them feel better through words. This is what I'm probably doing with this video, is trying to make some viewer out there feel better for who they are or how they are feeling. So if you're feeling down and you're watching this video, don't worry. It is not the bottom forever. Things will get better, and if you're feeling right up there, I know you're probably thinking, I ain't never coming down, but just keep it even, because it's the best way to be and keeps you fairly balanced. Everyone knows about balance. Everyone knows about balance. Some people probably out there going, well, you're not a very balanced person, but for me, I am. I'm balanced for me. What's balanced for you isn't balanced for everybody else. It's another thing we have to understand with people. Understanding people is not. Don't try to understand everybody. Some people are just ununderstandable. Some people try extra hard when you try and understand them to get further from it, like, but yeah. So people, yeah, if you are started off, like I said, was talking about Joe Rogan and Dan Bilzerian talking about money. Yeah, we would all like it, but don't be chasing, don't use the paper steps to be chasing your happiness. I'm using the paper because I just want to be able to provide my family with things. My family, I love my family. I suppose it's love that makes me want to provide, but I'm not chasing paper directly just to have material things. I'm doing it for a car, I'm doing it for gold teeth, I'm doing this for a chain. I joke about all these things with my friends. I'm like, you know what, if I ever become a famous rapper, I'm gonna hand out gold chains from the rooftop of a bus and give everybody champagne and throw Skittles and be like that Willy Wonka kind of person, because it's a dream I think we'd all like to have, is to be able to be that person who a lot of people like, and you give back, and how would you explain it? I suppose it comes down to a prophetic kind of image. So yeah, I suppose we all have this kind of prophetic image of ourselves somewhere in our psyches, where we look at ourselves and be like, oh, I'd love to be that, like a god that, or something like this. When in actual fact, we probably are actually gods. We're probably descendants of gods, stars. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. Like, you probably already are gods. I suppose there's a little bit of happiness for you as well. You're a god. You're powerful to limit, like all gods. The God that created this universe must have been created by another God. And since he made this universe to understand himself, he made this universe. We could go into this rabbit hole of a vortex of life, of the patterns so deep. But for now, we're just going to stick with this, yeah? Money doesn't buy you happiness. But it can damn sure help you buy a few pints for your mates, and they'll be happy fucking after. So yeah, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you for today's one. This is like the end of my video for today, really. So go and have I'm going to go and have my bath and go to sleep and my cigarette. And yeah, enjoy life. So, peace and love, people. I hope you're blessed. And I'll bang out one tomorrow. Maybe I got a wedding to go to, so... Oh yeah, I don't usually do shit like this, but shout out to John and Gemma on their wedding. Getting married tomorrow. Gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good, get you drunk.